Hey, welcome back. Good to see you again. Hope you're all well. Thanks for joining the channel. Today on the bench I have something a little different. It's a nice Sony. This is a TC-K80 Mark II. This is a optioned out cassette recorder. It's a crystal lock direct drive stereo cassette deck. It's got a lot of nice features too. I'm looking at this and and it's heavy. It's quite heavy. So it's got a lot of stuff packing inside, and it's really got a lot of nice features too. It's solenoid controlled. It's got soft touch buttons. Plus it has also a remote port. You can plug in a remote here. It's got a 4-pin connector. It didn't come with a remote. Now this is a client unit, and this is one of those units that I get jealous about or envious of when my clients bring to me and they say, "Oh yeah, I found it at a garage sale for $10 or $20 or something." This is one of those, and yeah, I would snap this up in a heartbeat. This is something special. Nice features. It's got record timer or playback timer switch, which means you can set this up for recording or playing back, and then when the power comes on, it automatically starts. It's got a headphone volume control for listening to phones. You don't need to have an integrated amplifier. It has automatic music search. It has digital, to me it looks like it might be LCD, but I don't know until I power it up. It could be vacuum fluorescent display here for the power VU meters. Oh yeah, it is liquid crystal. It says right here LCD. Okay. So that's an LCD. That's kind of a new thing that was in the 80s. This is an 80s deck, I'm assuming. So in the 80s, LCD was cutting edge technology. And back in the day, they were all using vacuum fluorescent displays or LEDs. But the LCD is a new thing. So hopefully that's good, because LCD displays can go bad with age. They can, how do you put it? If the seal breaks on the LCD assembly or the module, air can get in and destroy it. So what else does it have? It's got a line out, which is kind of unusual. Not all cassette decks have line out. And then we have a microphone level input and a line level input, and a master record level input. It accommodates metal tape. We have buttons here for metal tape, and Dolby noise reduction. Doesn't say what kind of noise reduction it is, A, B, C, or it just says Dolby noise reduction. I'm assuming that's Dolby B. Has EQ for different types of tape formulations, type 1, type 2, and type 3. And then it has bias for type 1, 2, and 3. And then type 4 is metal tape. So really nicely optioned out. Direct drive, that's a real bonus on a cassette deck. It keeps your speed stable and consistent. So I don't even know if this thing works. He provided me with a belt. Now I don't know, it looks like something he might have purchased online, as he probably anticipated it needed a belt, so he supplied one. But we're going to see what it needs. It is direct drive, so I don't know what kind of belts it uses. But let's power it up and see what it does. So it does have a sandust and ferrite head. You can see it's kind of dirty in there. That's okay, we'll get that cleaned up. But I guess the only drawback for this deck would be that it's not 3 heads. It's just a 2-head deck, and but don't let that hold it back. It's just because it's not a 3-head deck doesn't mean it's no good. It is still looks like it's going to be a good performer. Alright, for our test, I got today helping me my Sanyo DCA611 integrated amp. So let's fire this old baby up and see if it works. Okay, power on. We have some We sound like we have a gear that's stripped. This might be a fun repair. Let's try something here, see if it even works. Completely dead. Okay, we're getting no movement out of the mechanism whatsoever, and that noise sounds like a stripped gear, so we're going to have to dig into this one. But otherwise, looked like the LCD was working. I saw that, and the lamps and power supply is working, and everything else seems fine. So let's open it up, have a look inside. Okay, so you remove 6 screws, 3 on each side, remove the wood. Well, these aren't actually wood, they're kind of they're vinyl. Or laminate. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a laminate. The wood sides, remove that, and then the top is released as well. We can remove the top, slide it back a bit, and then let's see. Got some fuzzies and some webs, but everything's good. And you can see we have quite a bit going on here. A little bit of dust, not too bad. So, what do we have? Quite a bit going on here. There's all our mechanism here. Direct drive. So there is a direct drive motor here. This one, this big one, and then there's another motor up here for doing the supply and take-up reel. I think somebody might have been in here trying to figure out if what the problem is. Let's see if we can plug it in and see if we can figure out where the noise is coming from. That'll typically direct us right to where the problem is. I don't know if you can see very well here. Let's see if we can zoom in a bit. Yeah, I can see a gear. Oh, you can't see it. Let me get down. Still can't see it, not down far enough. I don't know if you can see down inside there, there's that white gear. Where is it? Right here, there's a white gear. And there's a gear behind it that you can't see. It's in behind the white one. That is not engaging. Either it's not fully engaged or it's stripped. So we're going to have to take this mechanism out. So looking at this, there's quite a bit going on here. This looks like an audio board. Looks like it's all audio. It's quite dusty. I'm going to blow the dust out of this thing. This looks like the LCD module, display module. It's backlit. It probably has the meter circuitry in there and the LCD. And yeah, it's got a couple of... Why does it have AC power running to it? That's another mystery. These two wires here look like AC power mains because they are connected directly with the rest of it. I don't know what that's all about. Some Sony engineering going on there. This board here, well actually this board here down here looks like power supply and system control. And then this looks like mechanical control. Looks like the driver It's got driver transistors on it and switching transistors. Probably run the motors, the solenoids, and then this is all the logic down here. It's quite involved. But we're going to have to get this mechanism out to have a good look at it. So let's start with that. Well, actually, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to blow the dust out of this thing. It's quite dusty. It did have vents on top. This is probably quite a power hog too. So let's see what this thing's drawing. 20 watts on average. Yeah. 20 watts is quite a bit for a cassette deck. But I guess when it's running it's probably even a little higher. So there's probably a bit of heat. The top does have ventilation, so that's all good. Alright, let's start by getting this thing cleaned up a bit. Now it looks to me like these two screws, Sony puts arrows on them for us because we're dumb, but these two screws need to come out, and then there's two screws on the top here that need to come out, and from what I can see that appears to be the only fastening screws there are. But look at this, it's got a removable bottom, so I'm going to take the bottom off first and then we'll go from there. I don't think we need to take the face off, so we're going to be good that way. I think the mechanism just comes out the back. Let me get these screws out and I'll bring you right back. Alright, here's the bottom, and then we can start the bottom of the power supply board and the Syscon, and this is the top of the audio board, inverted. A lot going on here. There's a lot of technology is in this thing. Sony put a lot of effort into building this. So let's remove these two just to start. Oh, they were tight. Yeah, I think it's already sagging. You see the mechanism's already dropping. Okay. Let's remove these two top screws. Yeah, it looks like they went to a lot of effort to build this machine. I bet you it cost quite a bit new. A lot of technology going in here. Okay, so we're loose. I just need to do some unplugging and the wires out of the way. This still perplexes me, this mains wiring on the LCD module. Okay, somebody's been in here before because things are disconnected. Our wiring harnesses are. Okay, so let's see if we can figure out how to get this out. This wire has to be disconnected. Let me fight with this for a while. I'll bring you back. Okay, it's not too bad actually. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 connectors on the main board, and a ground wire that needs to be removed. And then these three head wires need to be desoldered from the audio board before I can liberate the two. So I'll go through and remove all these wires. I got a photograph of where they went. You know, one would be. Looks like there's 3 heads here, but there's 3 cables, so maybe it is a 3-head deck. It doesn't say 3 heads, but you never know. Alright, we got it out. So here it is. It's quite the mechanism. Very well built. Look at this eject damper. they have a little wheel here with fins on it to slow down, and it's all run by a little dial cord here. See, it's quite springs and little levers. But anyways, let's get on this here. Where's our screwdriver? Let's take this apart. And then we have a screw here. All right. Somebody's been here. Somebody chewed up these screws with a pair of pliers. Probably trying to get them out without removing. Okay, this motor here. Let's disconnect this motor right here. Okay, so that should be the wiring for the motor. Oops, wrong screw. Alright. Now this is the capstan motor. So let's have a look here. There's no washer or anything, so it should just come right out. Yep. Let's just lift this straight up and out. And there's our capstan motor. Direct drive, exactly what we want on a cassette deck. Put this aside. So, it was caught up on this little thing here. That's where it was rubbing, and this is stuck or something. How does this work? Okay. Probably goes through. It's a very stiff mechanism. Very stiff. Why is it so stiff? I'm going to take that apart and clean it. Let's start here. Start here and take the spring off. Okay. Remove this E-clip. Might be just dried up grease. Yeah, I think it's just... Wow, that grease is really... Oh. You can see on the shaft there. Where is it? Right here, the shaft. It's all sticky grease. It's turning to, it's actually going, it's going hard. So let's clean all this up and re-grease everything, and we'll put it back together. And we should have a working deck again. So there's nothing wrong with this gear. It's not stripped or broken, which is good. We just need to clean everything. Okay. Okay, so if you ever come across a situation where you have a cassette deck that you have jammed up grease here that's not making the mechanisms not working, and it's stuck, and you find the cause, and you find why it's stuck, it's the grease needs to be redone on this one. So you're not just going to be doing this pin here, you're going to be doing everything, because everything else is going to be sticky too. This here, this lever here I was looking at, this is like sticking, it's stiff, and this one here too, it doesn't fully retract with the spring. So I'm going to have to disassemble all this and clean it and re-grease it. So I think I'm going to just remove this motor out of the way, just so it's out of our hair. And let me see what's on the other side here with this motor. I think we're okay. We take that one out. Let's pull these 2 screws. And we should be able to just put this out of the way. That motor's working fine. We're going to need to clean this. It's got grease on it now. And there's a tire in there. Now I don't see any belts. So the belt thing that he bought, I don't know where he got this from. This is not for this machine. So we're going to give that back to him. I don't know what he can do with it, but all of this needs to be disassembled and cleaned. Okay, I'll just start. We have to keep our components all lined up here so that we don't get confused. Okay, remove this. Come on. Okay. Now this one can be done. We'll do this one after we do this one. Let's do this one first. Keep our E-clips separated and all right. What I'm using is this stuff, Lloyd's. I found a contact cleaner. This stuff has in it tetrachloroethylene. Okay, this stuff will dissolve plastic, so you got to be careful on what you spray it on. I'm just going to put some on here, and then I'm going to test it on this plastic to see if it will dissolve it or eat it away. And it looks like it's safe. If it starts, the plastic starts to swell up and get soft, then you don't want to be using this stuff at all on your mechanism. So, but this is good stuff for removing the old grease. So we're going to go through and clean off these pins or posts. Okay, we need to do this part. I think I need to. I need something to. All right. So reassembly, I'm just going to use synthetic grease. This is the tedious part where you're just removing parts, cleaning them, and putting them back together again with new lubrication. Okay, so that piece is good. Now let's do this one. Where is it? All right. Now, how did this go again? This went like this? Or was it like... I forgot already. This goes here. Like that. No, I think it goes like that. So this goes down. I'm going to have to go back and review the video because I can't remember how it looked. Okay, I think I got it. It goes like that. So let's grease this up. Okay, this one. Right like that. There we go. Okay, heat clip. I got this. Just want to make sure all the pivot points are greased. Okay, that's done. This part here. And be careful, sometimes they put ball bearings under here when you have sliding parts like this. So I'm just checking. It seems like everything's in place. Alright, leave that alone. Let's do this. Now there is a service manual on this. I think I downloaded it, but unless I get really stuck on what to do, I don't think I need it. Okay, that's fairly clean. No grease on this one. So let's give it a bit. I already got that upside down. Okay, heat clip. Okay. I'll grease all these sliders later. I'm just going to get through all the main components here. So let's remove this spring and this E-clip. And remove this. Well, that one's sticky too. And then we'll do this side. Might have to remove this spring. Okay. All right. Okay. This was like this. Okay, E-clip. Another thing is your hands get all greasy, and so don't be grabbing rubber parts like tires and belts when you got greasy hands like this, because it just contaminates them. So when you're done anything like this, you got to go wash your hands. And okay, let's connect this spring back up before I forget. Come on, fight with me. There we go. Okay. All right, that's done. I need to do this one. Oh, this is tough. Oh, this will play tough. Okay. What I need is cotton swabs that are narrower in diameter that can fit in the hole and clean out the inside there. I'm going to try something here with a bit of a rag. Try pushing a rag through. This works in a pinch. Just want to make sure it's all clean. Okay. This is actually a pretty easy deck to service. I've seen other decks that are just a nightmare, but this one's actually not bad. I don't mind it. Geez, cassette decks get a bum rap because they're so difficult to work on. Some designs are just terrible. Okay. Putting lots of grease on. I don't care if it oozes out. So this piece. Okay, E-clip. The trick is not to get things mixed up. Don't take the whole thing apart and then try and remember how it went back together, because you have. And another thing you can do is take pictures. Don't be afraid to take pictures of what you're going to take apart so that you remember how it goes back together again. I'm using the video as a help. And there's no shame in looking for help from that, because it is complicated. Nope, it's not in there yet. I gotta lift this side up. Come on, doesn't want to go on. What's going on here? There we go. Okay. That's done, that's done, that's done. Now we need to do this stuff. Here, let's do this one first. Okay. Gonna get rid of all this old grease on these cams. We're gonna place new. Okay. All right, so this cam has two surfaces, this one here and this one here. They get two profiles. So we're gonna have to grease up. Well, let's clean this. Clean the shaft off. And clean this surface. Clean this surface. Okay. So let's grease this up. Okay. Now we got to deposit a layer here. And a layer here. Let's put some on this cam follower. Alright, I think we're good. So we can put this back. Just want to make sure everything's well lubed. Okay, E-clip. Let's attach our spring. There we go. Perfect. See this solenoid here, when it pulls in, it unlatches this lock. And that allows the, let's see here. See, allows it to kick in, and then it engages with the capstan gear, and then this does its rotation thing. Till next time, and it resets. Now we got to do the last one. This is the one that was causing us all the troubles. Let's get all this old grease off. It's sticky old grease. It was only the one post that was sticky. Let's clean off this cam. Clean out. That's better. Okay, I think this is ready to go. Ooh, ran out of grease. Gonna have to reload my syringe. Okay, I'm gonna get some more grease. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Running around doing errands and stuff. Now this was cleaned. More grease. I think we got grease on this already. Okay. Nice thing about this is there's no washers to fall out and drop out and lose and everything. Okay, now I need to find the E-clip. Right here. Come on. Why are you being so difficult? There you go. That's the way it should move. It should be free. Okay. So everything's done here. I just want to clean some of these slides. Let's go through and give some of this some new grease. Too much. And this one too. Okay. This here. Okay. I think I'm going to leave that alone. Alright. So the real motor is a direct drive motor. And it has a magnet. I could open it up if I had to. There's no need to because it's just going to be a few coils and a rotating magnet, and you know, the bearing's all adjustable from outside, so nothing needs to be done there. I just need to clean this surface because it has my greasy paws all over it. So let's okay. I suppose if you really wanted to, you could re-lubricate it, but I think that motor is running just fine. Okay, we need to set this over here. Okay. I think I got it. No, I'm not seated yet, so I'm not going to crank down those screws for whatever reason. We're up in the air here. Let me take this plate off. And then we can get a good look at what's going on underneath. Okay, this is aluminum dress plate. It has a light pipe for the lamp. Okay, so what's going on here? You know what? Before I put this motor in, I see an opportunity to do something here. So let's take this screw out. Take this motor out. And let's service this bearing on this wheel. Come on. It's being difficult. Wow, this that is tight. Well, you know what? It's got a clutch. That's why. There's a clutch here. Magnetic clutch. I guess that drag is supposed to be there. And this wheel is split. But it's going to work. We're going to run with it. So let me clean this up. What I'm going to do is clean this tire. And then we'll re-lubricate the bearing. Okay, I'm going to use... Oh, not that side. Rubber Renew. This is MG Chemicals. Catalog 408. I don't know if you can buy this anymore. Does anybody know if you can buy this stuff still? This is a 250 milliliter bottle. I think you can only get it in small bottles though. But keep the bottle cap so it doesn't rot your brain. So I went and washed my hands so that I wouldn't get grease all over this rubber. Let's give this a good scrub with Rubber Renew. It strips off all the dirt and all the other stuff that sticks to the rubber. Gives it a new surface. Kind of strips the surface off too. I think that's about it. I think I'm getting, well, you scrub it until nothing more comes off, and it's getting pretty clean now. Not much left on there. A little bit. I think that's good. Now I call this a clutch, but it isn't really a clutch, it's more like a brake. So I'm just going to put a very tiny amount on the bearing. Come on. Okay. Okay, go back in. Something needs to happen back here. There we go. Now I gotta hook up that spring somehow. There we go. Now the motor can go in. Take the twist out of it. There we go. It sits right down there. Okay, good. Some good torque. Okay. The capstan motor has a speed sensor on it. This is a pickup. This ring, this gray ring is magnets, north, south, north, south, north, south. And as it passes by this magnetic pickup head, creates a signal that goes back to the servo, and then the servo decides if it's going too slow, it amps up the motor. If it's going too fast, it backs off the motor. Field coils, and there's your magnet on your rotor. And then there's a single bearing in the center. It is just a piece of nylon. It's just like a disc. And that's all there is to it. A couple of Hall sensors. All right. Just want to give this a real quick clean. Not too bad. Okay. So I'm going to lubricate it about from the midpoint down, and I'm going to leave the top half dry. Just use the slightest amount, and then we'll spread it around. Okay. There we go. Very nice. Wrong one. Okay. We're done. So that should spin. Does. Okay. So what we need to do now is clean the heads. Get some alcohol. These heads look like they're brand new. This whole thing looks like it's got like no wear on it whatsoever. It's probably used very little. It looks like it anyway. And it's kind of an unusual head. It's got, if you can see it, let me zoom in. And if you can see this, here there's two heads, one for looks like left to right, and then here is another complete head, and that's the whole width of the tape. Usually you only have like heads on one side or the other, but I wonder what those other heads are for. Okay, good. Probably what I'll do is I'll remove, no, I'll just clean it here. Okay, done scrubbing the pinch roller, and this thing looks like brand new. It looks like this deck has seen very little hours. So anyways, everything here is done. I'm not going to do any other lubrication because it's not really necessary. Like, I don't know. If for any reason you need to take this plate out, this is the head block assembly, this plate here that goes up and down. There's 3 ball bearings here. There's one here under this cap, 2 and 3, and they roll in a little slot. They have in the ball bearing, but this thing doesn't need any lubrication there. It's going good. I was going to put it back together, I think. I think I'm going to do one thing though. This dampening mechanism here is kind of sluggish. I'm probably going to re-lubricate this because it doesn't fully open, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lubricate this and then check over the electronics. I had a little bit of a look at the electronics, and I'm seeing a lot of cracked joints, especially around these white plastic connectors. There's a few of them on here, and I can see the ring cracked around a lot of these. So I'm going to have to go give this board a good scrub and a good visual and repair a lot of joints, I think. Now I yanked out 3 caps just to test as a random. The first 3 I pull out, all 3 are bad. This one's 10 times the ESR it should have. This one's 28% out of tolerance. This one's 1000 microfarad, it's down to 800 and something, and the ESR is high. These are all dried up and cooked. So you know what that means. Gotta be putting caps in this thing. Now I did check the caps on these boards, on this board, and they seem fine, but maybe I should go through and just replace them anyways. There's just really, I don't know, 15 caps on here. Like, what's that, a couple bucks, a buck? So maybe I'll do that too. Yeah, because this is a nice machine. The more I work on this, the more I enjoy it. This is a really nice, this is actually a very nice example. I'll get on with a recap on this, and we'll see how that goes. Some things I'm noticing about this cassette deck: its build quality is phenomenal. These knobs are solid aluminum, and they're machined out of a single chunk. They all have set screws, so they're not your typical garbage knobs. And this front panel is not plastic or aluminum laminate. This is die cast. The whole thing is a big heavy chunk of die cast. I think it's zinc, but it's solid and it's heavy. That's why this thing weighs so much. Alright, so I just finished doing recap. So that was quite a chore. There was quite a few caps on this machine, and surprisingly quite a few dead ones too. So it was a good thing you got new caps in this. If this is a keeper for a machine, I think it is. I think it needs new caps for sure. So power supply board and Syscon had the most dead caps, and then this is the audio board. Not very many on here, but went through and changed them. A lot of out of tolerance capacitors on this one. And then the motor control board, I replaced some of these ones over here. Some of these ones I left alone. They were okay. These are in the servos. I think they're going to be fine. So everything's done with the transport, and everything's done with the recapping. Just want to take this out of the way. I want to have a look at this thing. This thing's got me perplexed. Let me get set up for this. Okay, it looks like it has, well, I can see the liquid crystal display in there. I can actually see the traces. But it looks like it has a stainless steel stencil in there that's punched or etched to show numbers and whatnot. So let's pull the cover off this thing. I'm really curious of what's going on inside. don't know why they need 120 volts to go into here. I think I have an idea what's going on here, but it's just a simple power, level meter. Holy smokes. I'm going to break my screwdriver. And one more. No, that's it. All right. Holy smokes. So Sony rolled their own chips for this LCD display. Two of them. And then there's a chip in here, a Sony chip. CX767, and another chip here. This thing's quite involved. Why? Oh, okay. All right. So I'll replace these few caps, because there's no point in just leaving them. You got adjustments, 3 adjustments. It's quite the device. And this mains power goes in. There's a 100K resistor here. Looks like, no. This is a luminescent display panel. Or is it something else? Do I dare look at it? What is this tube in here? There's a tube. Cold fluorescent? Let's pull this out. Let's have a look at it. Only one screw. Yeah, it's a cold fluorescent tube. You can see the tube here. There's a power resistor, like a 3 or 5 watt, 22K. And then there is the tube itself. There it is. I wonder. Interesting. Why they go to so much effort to build this like this. Okay, well, I was going to put it back together because there's nothing really you can do for it or with it. I was just curious in what they have mains voltage going to the display for, and now we know. Could have just as easily popped in a incandescent lamp. Okay, I'll get busy on this. Okay, we're ready to do initial test. Just turn it on. Everything seems normal so far. Play. I don't think we're getting music though. It looks like we're getting some kind of noise. Rewind. Play. Fast forward. Stop. Play. Okay, yeah, well, I don't have the heads hooked up yet. I haven't soldered them back, so that's just picking up noise. Okay, that's what that is. Okay, I don't have to freak out over it. What is going on here? This is a pause and play. Pause is working. Let's see here. Rewind, we tested all those. Okay, I think everything's good. I'm going to solder the heads wires back down to the audio board, and then we're going to be finishing this up, putting the faceplate back on. And let's see here. I wanted to check. Yeah, we got some burned out lamps here. 2 of these lamps are burned out. So I'm going to pull that module out and change these lamps. Anything else? I think everything's good. There's a lamp here. Oh, that's working. Okay. Alright. Looking good. Oh, hang on. Maybe we have... Oh, we have all our lamps. Okay. Very, very good. Getting ready to do a record test here, but I'm having problems. I think that's the relay. There's a relay here. Somebody's been monkeying around with this relay too. Let me turn this down. If only I could go back in time. Okay, let's try this. It's either a dicky connection or a bad relay. I've narrowed it down to this spot here. Okay, well I'm going to have to. Maybe that's a short there, I don't know. No. I have to pull that relay out. Okay, I had a good look at this relay and I did some testing, contact resistance tests, and it's not doing very good. Normally closed, or sorry, normally open is the ones that are giving me problems. And then when they close, I'm getting resistance about 2 to 5 ohms on those two. Normally closed is a little better. One was 60 milliohms and the other was up around a few hundred milliohms. But we're going to clean this. Now this has gold contacts, so you can't use sandpaper, you can't use polish. They're very tiny, you can't really do much with them. The only thing you can do is try cleaning them. And what I propose to do is cut a strip of paper, just regular everyday paper. And we're going to soak this down with Electrosol. This is 409B. And this is a zero residue cleaner. So after it's done evaporating, there will be nothing left. So we're going to close the contacts with electricity. I'm going to try dragging this paper through. Back and forth a few times, get it wetter. It just dried up. And this should clean anything that's on those contacts. Okay, paper dried up again. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same paper, keep the contacts engaged, and I'm going to shove it underneath these normally closed contacts. Come on. Oh, I see. Okay. There we go. Another spritz. Actually, take the power off, let the contacts relax. And they're in there now, I think. Okay, let's soak this down. And just drag it through. Now you could always replace this relay, but start with the cleaning first. Okay, that's dried up. I'm just going to pull it out. Alright, let's test it one more time. Okay, so this is normally closed, and I got 41 milliohms, which is better. This side here. This side isn't making contact at all. Yeah, this side's bad. Let me try this set of contacts here. What do we get here? Cooperate. $57 milliohms. That's perfect. This is way down from the 2 to 5 ohms I was getting before. Let's try this side. $45 milliohms all around. Good. So I still have problems with this contact here. No, this one. Where is it? That's 44, and this side is 46. This tie is sensitive to touch though. This side's good. So I'm going to clean this set of contacts one more time and test it, and then we'll put this relay back in. I think this is a source of our problem. The tape heads connect directly to the contacts, so they're doing some really low level switching here, and that's why they got the gold contacts. But we're going to see if we can fix that up. Okay, the relay's back in. I don't hear anything now. Sounds like it's good. Sony put a lot of effort into this meter, this liquid crystal peak program meter. You can press manual, and then the peak hold will stay indefinitely, or you can press auto reset and it'll clear itself. But look at the scale on this thing. It goes from less than minus 40 dB all the way up to plus 8 dB. And then it has underneath a volume unit scale. I don't know why the difference, because zero's over here, and then underneath you look and see 0 over there. And there's a Dolby mark, and then 150, 200% overdriving. But it's a nice meter. You make some good recordings with that. All right, well there it is. It's finished. It's a nice deck. I really like it, and I think Rick, you're going to be happy with this one. This is you can make some nice, serious recordings with this thing. Metal capable, full object control. Has a remote. Now you could probably make up a remote, because it is just a bunch of push buttons and some resistors, and it's 4 wires, so you could probably make yourself a remote if you really wanted one. But yeah, that's it. That's it for this one. So the big story on this was we had a gear that was all seized up with grease in the mechanism, so that's why it was locked up in one state. And the other big issue with this was the relay at the contacts there at the playback record head. They needed cleaning. They were pretty dirty. And then, of course, a number of caps went into this to freshen it up. A lot of these caps, I'd say maybe 15-20% of them are dead or dying, and the rest of them they're okay. But you know what? It's nice to put a fresh set of caps, and then everything is balanced and more you know, structured, I guess, with the circuits when you have all fresh caps and they all have the correct values, not all drifted and leaking, and so it makes a difference. But this is going to be a good one to listen to and make tapes with. So I'm going to leave it here for now, and thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Yeah, make all the demons quiet. Yeah, we were built to thrive. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night? Yeah, make all the demons quiet. Yeah, we were built to thrive. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night? Yeah, make all the demons quiet. Yeah, we were built to thrive. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night? Yeah, make all the demons quiet. Yeah, we were built to thrive. Yeah.